Hey folks, this is Vint with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to review Port Royale 4. This is a game that you can find on Steam for about $50. Now, full disclosure, I have roughly 5 to 6 hours playing this game. So I know that a lot of you are going, well, Port Royale 4 is a huge game, and Port Royale series is a huge series, so 6 hours isn't enough time to fully review something. I'm well aware that I did not get into every single thing in Port Royale 4. That being said, I've played enough of it now to form some opinions and to tell you whether or not you should pick it up. That's a tough question, too, especially with the way this game is currently being developed. So, what is Port Royale 4? Having never played the prior Port Royale games, I've come to see Port Royale 4 as one big sea trading simulator. It reminded me a lot of Grand Ages Medieval, except instead of getting carts and setting up trade routes on land between towns, you're getting ships and you're setting trade routes between towns. That's how I felt going into this. I used my experience from Grand Ages Medieval and applied it here, and for the most part, I was 50% of the way into the game. Like, I really didn't need a whole lot of coaxing. In fact, I got up to the third or fourth tutorial on production, and there was a bug that prevented me from constructing the building it told me to, so I quit that, and then I just went into free play mode, and I was fine. Again, I saw the supply and demand bars. Oh, okay. There's 4 bars, and if all 4 are green, that means they're overproducing. If they're all red, that means their demand is super high, and the price is going to be great for those. If the 2 green bars are somewhere in the middle, that's roughly okay. You're satisfying demand. You know, I going into that, I was completely fine. Okay? So, this game has a lot of similarities. So, even if you've never played a Port Royale game, if you've played Grand Ages Medieval like I have to death, then you'll be able to jump into this game without too much of a problem. So let me tell you some of the things that I've gone through and experienced in my 5 to 6 hour live stream that I did earlier today. So first of all, whenever you start off, there's 4 different factions that you can be. There's England, France, the Netherlands, and Spain. So you're going to choose one of those, and then you're going to choose a particular leader type, I guess. There's like the adventurer, the merchant, the the privateer, it was a pirate of some kind. And they each get bonuses and penalties depending on what you choose. So your starting leader will have bonuses and so will your faction. France is good at constructing buildings, for example, and Spain can grow population very quickly, so on, so on, so on. So you're going to choose a faction, choose a leader, and then you're going to go into it. The nice thing about free play mode is that you can set up a lot of things to the way that you like it, but everything that, like, the only options are make it harder, typically. And that was the problem with Grand Ages Medieval. Whenever you looked at the difficulty modes on Grand Ages Medieval, it was normal. And then, oh, look, there's more options. Oh, it's hard and impossible, difficult, whatever. Same thing here. It's like the developers don't know what easy mode is. But to be fair, normal feels like easy mode because at the end of my 6 hours that I've played this, I had 400,000 gold. I just sat back and watched things happen at that point. I bought a I bought a ship for myself, more of a combat vessel. Got a captain for it, and now I'm just doing things on my own. My third quarter earnings were, I want to say, like 3,000% that of the first year that I started. So I'm totally fine with normal mode. It's easy enough for me anyway. But getting back to what you can do, again, there's free play mode. Now, there is a campaign, but ignore the campaign, okay? I'm going to just save you the frustration now. There's tasks that the Viceroy will give you. If you miss them in campaign mode, done. Nope, not gonna I hate that. Nope, game over, not interested, sorry, free play is where it's at, that's where I started, that's where I'm staying. Unless you like the challenge, fine. but if you're learning the game, you're going to get frustrated. I don't recommend campaign mode. Stick with free play. And again, in free play, you can choose a number of different options. Choose your faction, choose your leader. And you're also going to choose a town that you start in. Now, at this town, you are the governor, meaning that you can construct buildings in this town and make it better. You can put housing down. There's churches, medical facilities. You can even put buildings down like you can in Grand Ages Medieval that produce something. So if you see that your town isn't making brick, you can put down hopefully, depending on what town you choose. Not every town can build everything. Not every town has the land needed for hemp or the land needed for fruit or whatever. So you're going to have a limited selection of things you can build, but you're going to be able to construct these buildings at your town and then construct them. But you do have like 7 build slots when it comes to production. So you can only have like 7 buildings that are producing something. So you can't like produce every single thing in the game on one town. That would be broken. But yeah, so you're still going to have to buy and trade regardless. But people, the townspeople, no matter whether it's on your town or the towns in the entire map, they will consume goods. And it's your job to deliver things from one location to another. Find the towns that are oversupplied with stuff, the 4 green bars, buy them up, send your ships over to the towns that have 4 red, which super demand, sell that, profit. You can set up trade routes in this game so that it's just back, forth, back, forth, back, forth, back. It's the most monotonous thing in the game, honestly. That took up most of my time. If you think of the word gameplay, that's what I did the most of. I messed with trade routes, and it wasn't that I had to think about things. It was there's I want to say 30 commodities. And I'm like, oh, it is. I went down the list. And once you connect all of the towns in your trade route that you're creating, there's a little gear icon that'll be spinning. That means that commodity is being produced at that location, at the town that you currently selected in the trade route. So, meaning you're going to select it, and then you have to choose buy or sell for that commodity. Well, if you're producing it there, then you want to sell it. Okay, so what I do is I go through every single town on my trade list, on the trade route that I'm making. I look for all those gear symbols, and then I set them all to sell. All those commodities to sell. And then everything else I set to buy. So I'm sitting there, commodity, okay, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. That takes a while and that just irritates my carpal tunnel. But that was the gameplay here. That was the most that I did in this game in terms of clicking. So just so you know, there's a lot to do with the trade routes. Not necessarily deep. It's just once you get a system going and once you figure things out, it's just okay. Click, 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 click. Got it. Anyway, so I mentioned Viceroy earlier. And again, in the campaign, the Viceroy will give you missions, which is, again, insta-fail if you don't complete them. In free play, however, you can ignore them, fine. If you do complete them, you get fame. Fame will earn you a number of things, but primarily something called concession points. You can spend your fame on your concession tab, and then you can get captains after doing that. Like, you can unlock captains. You can unlock new production buildings that you can put into your towns. And you need captains because your combat ships will not function without a captain. So you need that. And each captain has a certain skill level associated with it too. So, like if you build a ship, okay, that requires 2 chevron, 2 rank, whatever, you need a captain of rank 2 or above in order to captain that. So you have to kind of pick and choose, okay, what captain am I going to want? Oh, he has this skill, okay, and so on. So there's a little bit of strategy there. It's nothing to write home about. But just keep in mind, in order to do any sort of combat in this game, first you need to raise your fame, then unlock captains, then get your captain into a combat ship. Okay, so if the Viceroy is telling you, oh, we're at war with the French or with the Netherlands, and you don't even have captains yet, don't even bother signing that letter of marque, because you can't do any combat until you get your captain. So just anyway, a letter of marque, by the way, is permission to attack. enemy vessels of a particular faction. Otherwise, you lose fame and stuff. So it's like official permission from the gods above or from your government that it's okay to knock these ships around, these enemy ships around, blow them out of the water, and so on. Anyway. So, naval battles themselves, they are like hex-based. I've not actually gone through one in the 6 hours that I've played. Everything you can either automatically resolve it or manually resolve it. You'll be gaining something called tactics as you complete various side quests. These tactics are like one-time abilities or actions that you can use in combat to give you some kind of advantage. So if you're heavy into combat in this game and you're looking to give yourself some advantage, go and do these side quests from time to time that pop up. They will give you various tactics that you can use. So yeah, I gotta say, like, this game is okay. Do I recommend it? It's a tough one. It really is. It's like it depends on who you are. If you are a diehard Port Royale fan that is looking for a very, very deep simulation, then no. This felt more like a casual, just building a ship here. And once you get going, it's really hard to stop. I mean, my trade routes, I rarely had to edit them. The one time I had to edit a route was because I was at war with some other nation and they took over one of my cities. So, and that was part of my trade route. So I even had to change the trade route too much. The ship automatically avoided it. So, like, I didn't have to do much. The biggest gameplay, again, create a ship or ships, create a trade route, and then assign the ship to the trade route and then watch. And then watch the ships go around. Money, 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 money. There are royal commodities. I don't remember the exact name of them, but every faction has like a viceroy hometown. Not your hometown, but like this hometown of that faction. And these are commodities that this faction wants and that town wants. And when you deliver these royal commodities to it, you get a lot of money and fame. So you can also do that. Instead of just getting trade routes all over the place. You can focus on the royal commodities and make the head honcho happy. So you could do that too. So I see this as more of a casual trading game than anything else. Again, there's probably one or two things that I didn't get into. I did some base building, or town building, I should say. I constructed medical facilities, and the only thing you'll have to watch out for there is when you're constructing a building, some buildings will cause dissatisfaction if it's built too close to residential buildings. So it's like SimCity. You know, people don't want to live next to power plants or mines, whatever. I'm just saying, this game is the same way. You don't want to put certain buildings next to other certain buildings. That's all you really have to watch out for. But you can construct buildings in your town. You can trade routes. Again, 6 hours in, I have 750,000 gold, and it's still going. I now have a captain and 2, I think, just combat ships that I'm leaving out of my trade routes. I'm going around. Side missions will pop up. Oh, find my husband. I can't find him. He was last over here. Or, oh, there's a castaway. Pick him up, deliver him there, buy this. The only thing that annoys me about a lot of these tasks, like the Viceroy tasks and these side mission tasks, is that the time limit is you really gotta hustle. Like, get a sloop or something fast so that you can complete them. As soon as you accept that task, a lot of times I found that I barely had enough time to get the commodity I needed, and then deliver it to the other town, and then that was it. I barely had time to do that before the time limit expired. I wish there was a way in the game settings to adjust the timer to be a little bit more lax, but so it goes. I also found some really Englishy grammar in this game on occasion. The help section, for example, the tips and tricks, like there was code in there. Like, I guess words were supposed to be bolded, but instead they're code. There's all this weird code. I don't know. So yeah, it's like the game, I don't know. It felt like it was half you know what, you know? But at the same time, it appeals to someone like me because sometimes I just like a casual trading sim game. I just like to make money. So I would recommend this game to the casual trading fan, not to the hardcore trading simulator fan. That's how I see it. If you liked Grand Ages Medieval, you may like this one too. But there's a lot of people that are like, well, the developer screwed up Grand Ages Medieval compared to everything else in the series, and now Port Royale 4 is the same way. They screwed this up too. You're going to have two sides to this. You're going to have the casual bunch and the hardcore bunch. The hardcore bunch are probably not happy right now. The casual bunch, I'm telling you, as a casual myself, I'm fine with it. But $50, you may want to wait for a sale. All right, Port Royale 4. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I happen to publish. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.